Hello viewers, welcome to another video from Referit. Mr. Ashok Lavasa resigned from his post as Election Commissioner. In his post, Mr. Rajiv Kumar was appointed yesterday. That's why Election Commission of India is in use today. Now I am going to explain Election Commission of India regarding to UPSC, State Public Service Examinations and for other examinations. See, Election Commission of India is a permanent body. It's an independent body. It is free from other organs. It functions according to the Constitution of India. It was established by the Constitution of India. It is an independent and permanent body. Now we see that the responsibility of the Election Commission of India, the Election Commission of India main responsibility is to ensure free and fair elections in the country. Now, the article that gives power to the Election Commission of India is Article 324. Article 324 provides to the Election Commission with superintendence, direction and control of elections to the Parliament, State Legislatures, the Office of President of India and the Office of Vice President of India. It means that it has the power to supervise, to direct and to control the entire election process regarding to Parliament elections, State Legislature elections, the Office of President of India elections and to the Office of Vice President of India elections. So, Election Commission of India has to conduct the elections for Parliament, the State Legislatures and the Office of President of India and to the Office of Vice President of India. That is why the Election Commission of India is an all India body. It means it is common for both the central government as well as the state governments. Here there is a possibility for misunderstanding about the duties of the Election Commission of India. As we said earlier, Election Commission of India is a national body. So that is why it deals with the elections regarding to Parliament elections, State Legislature elections, President of India elections and the Vice President of India elections. Note here what that is. It doesn't concern with the elections to panchayats and municipalities in the states. There is separate body regarding to states for conducting panchayat election and municipal elections, that is State Election Commission. Now we can know the details of 324 article. There are 6 sub-articles under this 324. 324, one of 324, it says us that the Election Commission of India has to conduct free and fair elections. It has provided, the Constitution has provided an organization, that is Election Commission of India. It conducts elections to the Parliament, to the offices of the Vice President and to the Office of President and to the State Legislatures. And the power of the Election Commission of India is to supervise, direct and control the entire election process that is going on in India for every 5 years and other times. Article 2 of 324. It gives us information about the composition of the Election Commission of India. The Election Commission of India consists of the Chief Election Commissioner and such number of other election commissioners, if any, as the President may from time to time fix. The appointment of the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners shall be made by the President. It means the composition of India, there are at present 3 election commissioners. In these 3 election commissioners, one of the election commissioner is the Chief Election Commissioner and the other 2 election commissioners are there in Election Commission of India. All the 3 election commissioners of India are appointed by the President of India. 3 of 324. It gives the information about any other election commissioner is so appointed. The election commissioner shall act as the chairman of election commission. Here we are seeing that there are 3 election commissioners at present in Election Commission of India. The Election Commission of India consists of 3 election commissioners. One of the 3 election commissioners is called the Chief Election Commissioner, and usually the Chief Election Commissioner shall act as the chairman of the Election Commission. Now we are seeing 4 of 324. 4 of 324 gives the information that in addition to the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners, the President may appoint another election commissioner. They are called Regional Election Commissioners. 5 of 324 gives the information about the service rules and the tenure of office of the election commissioners and the regional commissioners. These all, service rules and the tenure of all these election commissioners and regional commissioners shall be determined by the President of India. The Election Commission of India was established in the year 1950 on January 25th. Till 15th October 1989, this Election Commission functioned as a single member body. That means there is only one election commissioner till 15th October 1989. At that time, from 1950 to 1989 October 15, there was only single election commissioner and he was the chief election commissioner at that time. On 16th October 1989, the age of the voter reduced from 21 years to 18 years. That was why the work burden of election commission was increased then. Then the President of India, to bear the burden of this work, the President of India appointed 2 more election commissioners in addition to the Chief Election Commissioner. Thereafter, 16th October 1989, the Election Commission functioned as multi-member body. That means, along with the Chief Election Commissioner, there are 2 other election commissioners. From 1950 to 1989 October 16, the Election Commission of India acted as multi-member body. However, the 2 posts of election commissioners were abolished in January 1990. So this means from 16th October 1989 to January 1990, the Election Commission of India functioned as multi-member body. There were 3 election commissioners up to January 1990. Again in October 1993, the President of India appointed 2 more election commissioners. Since then till today, the Election Commission has been functioning as a multi-member body consisting of 3 election commissioners. At present, now also there are 3 election commissioners in the Election Commission of India. That is why Election Commission of India is at present a multi-member body. 6 of 324 gives us the information about the staff required for conducting the entire election process. To perform the election process throughout India, there may require some staff of union government as well as state governments. That is why, regarding to union government, the President of India shall provide the staff to Election Commission of India to perform election process. But regarding to states, the governor shall provide with staff of respective governments to perform all the election process in the states. As we said in the earlier information, there are 3 election commissioners at present in the Election Commission of India. You may have got some doubt regarding to the ranks of all the election commissioners. Now, regarding to the ranks of the all election commissioners, the chief election commissioner and the other two election commissioners are in equal ranks. They have equal powers, they get equal salary, they get equal allowances, and they get other benefits also equally. That's why all the three election commissioners are in same rank. And this is regarding to the judges of the Supreme Court. While taking decisions regarding to the Election Commission of India, there may be a different opinion among all the election commissioners. Then what will happen regarding to difference of opinion in the Election Commission of India? The matter is decided by the commission by majority in the three election commissioners. Now we are going to know the tenure of all election commissioners. The election commissioners, they may hold office for a term of 6 years or until they get the age of 65 years. Sometimes a term of 6 years may complete first. Sometimes the attaining of age of 65 years may come first. But what is final here? Whichever is earlier, that will be final here. And all the election commissioners may resign or removed before the expiry of their term. Regarding to the resignation of all the election commissioners before the expiry date, here is an important issue and an important update. That is, Mr. Ashok Lavasa resigned as election commissioner on January 23rd. Recently, Mr. Ashok Lavasa resigned as election commissioner. Why? He is going to join Asian Development Bank. But Lavasa joined as election commissioner on January 23, 2018. So if you come to the seniority of the election commissioners, he was next in line to head the poll panel. There is possibility for him to be the chief election commissioner of India. Why? Lavasa has still service at the election commission of India. But Lavasa sent his resignation to Rashtrapati Bhavan and he requested to be relieved on August 31st. So after August 31st, he is going to join Asian Development Bank. If he continues as election commissioner, what will happen? He would simply retire on October 2022. But now after his resignation, after Ashok Lavasa resigned from his post, Rajiv Kumar was on 21st August 2020 appointed as election commissioner by the President of India. Now we are coming to a very important issue, that is independence of Election Commission of India. Article 324 of the Indian Constitution, it made some provisions to safeguard and ensure the independence and the impartial functioning of the Election Commission. Now, when we come to the tenure of the Chief Election Commissioner, he is provided with the security of tenure. He cannot be removed from his office except in the manner of impeachment as the Supreme Court judges of India. In other words, he can be removed by the President of India only on the resolution passed to the effect by both houses of Parliament with special majority. And he has to be removed on only two causes. They are only misbehavior or incapacity. As we said earlier, the Chief Election Commissioner of India can be removed from his post only the process impeachment like the Supreme Court judges of India. And he doesn't hold his office till the pressure of the President. Why? Because the process impeachment is a very large process. That is why he cannot hold his office till the pressure of the President. Though he is appointed by the President of India, he doesn't hold his office till the pressure of the president. And till now, no chief election commissioner has been impeached in India. The service conditions of the chief election commissioner cannot be changed to his disadvantage after his appointment. So after he was appointed by the President of India, the service rules of the chief commissioner cannot be changed to his disadvantage. For other election commissioners and regional commissioners, they also cannot be removed from office except on the recommendation of the chief election commissioner. It means the other election commissioners and regional election commissioners can be removed only on the recommendation of the chief election commissioner of India. Here, regarding to the tenure of the election commissioner, here is a note for you, very important. What that is? In 2009 Lok Sabha elections, chief election commissioner N. Gopalaswamy, he sent a recommendation to the president, then Srimati Pratibha Patil, to remove Mr. Naveen Chawla, the election commissioner at that time. But though the chief election commissioner recommended to the removal of the election commissioner Naveen Chawla, then President Pratibha Patil didn't consider the recommendation of the chief election commissioner Gopalaswamy. What happened then? After retirement of Gopalaswamy, Mr. Naveen Chawla became the chief election commissioner and he supervised all the election process in 2009. What the important issue here is, you have to note that the chief election commissioner may recommend to remove any other election commissioner, but the President of India is not binding on the recommendation of the chief election commissioner. The President of India, though recommended by chief election commissioner, the President of India may consider it or may not consider, but the decision of the President of India is final at the removal of other election commissioners. Though according to the Constitution of India, Election Commission of India has some safeguards and independence and impartially working, but there may arise some defects in the functioning of the Election Commission of India. What they are? Recently, Mr. Rajiv Kumar was appointed as the election commissioner in the place of Mr. Ashok Lavasa. But what are the qualifications to be the election commissioner of India? The Constitution has not prescribed any qualifications, legal qualifications or educational qualifications, administrative qualifications or judicial qualifications are not provided in the Constitution of India. And about the term of the members of the Election Commission, the Constitution has not specified any term in the Constitution, and also the Constitution has not debarred after retirement of these election commissioners regarding to further appointment by the government. Now we are coming to very important issue, the functions of the Election Commission. The powers and functions of the Election Commission with regard to elections to the Parliament elections, State Legislature elections, offices of both President and Vice President. So regarding to all these responsibilities, the functions of Election Commission can be classified into three types. The first one, administrative functions, second one, advisory functions, and the last and third one is quasi-judicial functions. Now we know the responsibilities of Election Commission of India in detail. The first responsibility of the Election Commission of India is regarding to the territorial areas of the electoral constituencies. There are electoral constituencies regarding to both Parliament and Assembly Legislature elections. On the basis of Delimitation Commission Act of Parliament, the Election Commission of India decides the territorial areas of the election constituencies. Next, the second responsibility of the Election Commission of India is it prepares electoral rolls, and periodically the electoral rolls must be revised by the Election Commission of India, and it registers all the eligible voters time to time in the time of elections, and it notifies the dates and schedules of elections regarding to both Parliament, State Legislature, President of India and Vice President of India. And while elections are going on, the Election Commission of India scrutinizes the nomination papers laid by the candidates. And the fourth important responsibility of Election Commission of India is the Election Commission of India recognizes the political parties, and after recognition of a political party, it allots election symbols to the respective political parties, and it acts as court of settling disputes. While elections are going on, there may be some disputes regarding to elections. At the time of disputes between political parties and between candidates, the Election Commission of India acts as a court of settling disputes. These disputes mostly regarding to the election symbols. Sometimes during election process there may arise election disputes. These election disputes particularly regarding to the recognition of political parties and the allotment of election symbols to them. At the time of these disputes, who settles the disputes? Election Commission of India settles all these disputes. That is why it acts as a court of settling disputes. But regarding to those disputes, sometime there may require some inquiry. At that time of inquiry, the Election Commission of India appoint some officers for inquiring all the disputes during election process. And if we come to the seventh point, it tells us about how the Election Commission supervises the code of conduct observed by the parties and the candidates during the elections. The eighth important point is, during the entire election process, generally political parties, they give publicity regarding to their policies. At that time, the Election Commission of India allots time for the publicity of all the political parties in radios and televisions. And the ninth point is, the Election Commission of India relating to the disqualifications of the members of the Parliament, it advises the President. And the 10th one is, in the matters relating to the disqualification of the members of state legislative assemblies, the Election Commission of India advises the governor. Now, there may generally arise some irregularities regarding to elections during the election process. They are rigging. Some places there may take place rigging, booth capturing, and there may arise violence and some other irregularities. Regarding to these irregularities, the Election Commission of India is empowered to cancel the entire poll process if rigging or booth capturing or violence or other irregularities are placed in that constituency. Regarding to this issue, in 2019 elections, the Vellore constituency in Tamil Nadu state, the elections for MP election was cancelled by the Election Commission of India at that time. And the 12th point is, the President or the Governor may allot staff for conducting of elections on the request of the Election Commission of India. And the 13th point is, it supervises the machinery of elections throughout the country, whether in the entire election process, the election process is free and fair it checks and supervises the machinery of the elections during the election process. Then the 14th point says us that the Union Government of India shall impose president rule in some states. Then there is no possibility for conducting elections in those places. Then the Chief Election Commissioner shall examine whether there is the situation to conduct elections or not, and based on that the Election Commission of India advises the President whether elections can be held in those places. The next one is the Election Commission of India register political parties with it. After registration of political parties, based on the performance of the immediate elections after registration, the Election Commission of India shall grant the status for various political parties. That means it gives the status of national party, or it gives the status of state party based on their poll performance after registering with it. In addition to the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners, regional election commissioners, there will be Deputy Election Commissioner. How this Deputy Election Commissioner is appointed? This Deputy Election Commissioner is appointed by the Chief Election Commissioner. Generally, these Deputy Election Commissioners are from civil services. They are appointed with the tenure system. In the Election Commission of India, the Election Commission of India has a secretariat. In that secretariat, there will be secretaries, joint secretaries, deputy secretaries and under secretaries. All these secretaries, joint secretaries, deputy secretaries and under secretaries, they help these deputy election commissioners. There may be chief electoral officer at state level. During the election process, regarding to parliament and state legislatures, in the state level to perform all these duties, there a head of election activities is required in the states. That election officer is called chief electoral officer in states. These chief electoral officer in states are appointed by the chief election commissioner in consultation with the state governments. With the respective state governments, the chief election commissioner consults while appointing the chief electoral officer to the respective states. During the entire election process regarding to parliament and state legislature, there may require some officers at district level and constituency level and booth level. So in this regard, the district collector acts as the district returning officer, and at the constituency level, the district collector appoints a returning officer for every constituency. And regarding to the polling booth, there may be a presiding officer for every polling booth. These presiding officers are also appointed by the district collector, that is the district returning officer. Now we are seeing the vision of the Election Commission of India. The vision of the Election Commission of India is to excel by enhancing the active participation of all the voters, all the candidates, all the political parties, all the public in the entire election activity. So from this, the Election Commission of India strives to strengthen the electoral democracy not only in India but also in the global community. What is the mission of the Election Commission of India? The mission of the Election Commission of India is to maintain independence, integrity and autonomy. So it gives the inclusiveness for all the voters during the election process. It tries to get 100% participation of all the stakeholders regarding to political parties, the candidates of various political parties and the voters that are going to participate in the entire free fair and transparent elections. From this, the Election Commission of India, it strengthens further the trust in the democracy and governance in the public domain. The Election Commission of India has itself laid some guiding principles for good governance. Here it has some values while supervising, directing and controlling the entire election process regarding to equality, equity, impartiality and independence. The Election Commission of India, during the entire election process and during other times also, it tries to follow and enhance the credibility, freeness, fairness and transparency in the due election process, and it tries 100% for the participation of all the eligible citizens, and it adopts the methods of water-centric and water-friendly environment. The Election Commission of India shall engage all the stakeholders in the entire election process. It promotes awareness about the electoral process and the electoral reforms in the public. It conducts various political party meetings and it meets voters throughout the country to enhance and strengthen the confidence in the public and the trust in the electoral system of this country. The Election Commission of India, during the entire election process, it enables human sources. It takes sometimes the retired professional employees for the conducting of smooth and fair elections, and at the election time it always tries to build up quality infrastructure for smooth conduction of the entire election process. And in the recent times, as you know, technology has been used by the Election Commission of India for free, fair and transparent election process. And the Election Commission of India also adopted innovative practices throughout the world to make the people of India very confident and very trust towards the Election Commission of India functioning. Okay friends, that's all in this video. Thanks for watching.